Guys, I don't know what I'm going to say. But I'm back into this thing. I'm going to do ball joints on it today. And I bought those with AdSense money, so I figured it's kind of fitting to show a video on how to do them. They're totally not a big deal, man. Everything on this car is so friggin' simple. Before we get into it, I'll kind of show where we've been, what we got, and maybe something about where we got to go yet. We completely gutted the interior, and it's actually, it came out friggin' nice. There was a whole lot of, these sill plates here were all smashed up and missing, and the carpet was just cut to hell. All kinds of, these door cards were destroyed at the bottoms. The dash wasn't horrible, but these defroster vents were just kind of laying in there, and the VIN was, there was a lot of crap that wasn't right. It still has the radio out of the Ford Bronco, but it does look a little better. We did the heater core and a heater box. That stuff is all in behind there. And we did the non-AC heater box. And, geez. I don't... We did the complete friggin' interior. Everything is complete. And everything, mostly, except the carpet and maybe a couple other pieces, came out of that thing, which, as far as I'm concerned, just the interior, $250. It was worth the cost of entry, or whatever the hell you want to say. The heater box came out of that. Lots of other little bits and pieces, those door cards. The door cards on this, these things, these door panels, whatever. On this, originally, they were some kind of pressed cardboard or some crap. And of course, this thing was leaking and this and that. And they went to shit. They just got totally waterlogged and destroyed. The ones that came out of that are some kind of plastic. And they cleaned up really nice. They were cracked in places. So I had to do a little super glue and baking soda. And, so that came out all right. We're going to probably still do door seals and whatnot. It's not by any means perfect yet, but it's not like it's kind of decent, Whoever had this, well, the previous owner, I guess, some in its history, there's on these Mark IIs, the early ones have an electrical system called CE1. The later ones are CE2. For some reason, somebody took the cluster out of a CE2 car, and this is a CE1 car, and they just bodged the wiring, to adapt a CE2 cluster to this car. Out of that one, the junk one, I was able to get all the CE1 stuff, and the harness, the plugs, the la-di-da, the cluster. Had to take it apart and do a little work on it, but now instead of having to hold down a button for the glow plugs, now the glow plugs just work off the key. They don't shut off yet, or they don't seem to. And I still have that alternator light to deal with, which I believe I know how to deal with both of those issues, because there's stuff up under the hood, like temperature sensors and oil sensors and other electrical nonsense. And it's just not hooked up, like nothing's hooked to it, which that's another use for that car. I'm going to look at stuff on that car, and that kind of tells me where electrical doodads, this and that, what color wire goes to where, you know, because this thing has been so freaking screwed up. Jeez. If you're ever going looking at an old car, man, if it's on coilovers, I think that's a red flag. If somebody put it on coilovers, we did front struts up front, of course, and it rides great and it sounds a hell of a lot better. It was on coilovers, and then we put it on just some used shit laying on the hood of that one, and it was better, but it was still making a lot of noise. Blown spring up, bad spring on one side, blown shock absorber on the other. Now we got new ones. Now it sits freaking super high up in the air, and it wants to pull to the right a lot of times. And I know the ball joints, the boots on the ball joints are ripped, so I want to change those, and I'm hoping that one or both of them is just freaking destroyed. I still got to do the rear and get rear shocks on it because it's yeah. I don't know if it's supposed to set that friggin' high, man. Like you got your fist in there between the tire and the fender, and it might be a little bit lower on this side, but it's probably because it's setting on kind of an angle in the driveway, you know, but it's setting really low in the back, and that's coilovers too, and I have them wound up as high as I can get them. The kid that had this thing just did all kinds of nonsense. But like, we're bringing it along. It's never going to be perfect freaking mint. Whatever. These things were kind of built just to be a car. Maybe even kind of disposable, but you know, they're damn simple and I love them. All right, let me get some crap set up and I'll bring it back. All right, front end up on stands. One thing I wanted to do, I don't know, like hardly anyone that watches me, but I really like this jack. It's it's kind of like half of a scissor jack, you know, and I'm looking for this exact one. Hang on, our light isn't too awesome here. Like Volkswagen had a bunch of these style, but 431-011-031A with the Volkswagen Audi stamp there. All right, Bill Steen. Okay, and I don't know, some German shit here. Traglassmax, 600 kilograms. I guess that's the weight limit. AB, 30 millimeter. Whatever, something, I don't know. It has to be that exact one. I've had this jack for, I don't know. Well, and you can see the little, yep. It's old. I've had this thing forever and I love it and I use the shit out of it. So, man, if you find the twin to this thing, please, please, please let me know. I don't know how you might find it because they're sort of hard to come by, but man, if you do, you could be my hero. Okay, I'll screw with that later. Again, let me get into it and we'll bring it back. Pretty well everything you need to do the job. Pry bar, hammer, 13 millimeter, 17 on a decent extension, 17 wrench and something to drive your 17 socket. I'm lazy, so I'm using my rattle gun. If I grab anything else, you know, if I find I need anything else, I'll be sure to list it, let you know something, you know. And I'm going to try to do a decent job of this video and actually show things happening, as it was kind of you guys that bought me these ball joints, so I figure, you know, try to make a decent video on it. Ugh. I'd love to have a concrete pad. And of course, I'm gonna get the wheel off. If you got one of these rigid things, do not ever tighten anything up on 3. If you put it on, at least on this one, on number 1, if you're doing lug nuts on this thing or most anything else, it seems they are pretty sensible. I put it on 3 when I'm backing them out because I'm not asking. There we go. And a lot of times on these, on the brake rotors, there used to be a little screw right here that would kind of hold your brake rotor from turning and covering up the lug holes. So, you know, that's just another fun thing to look out for, because I used to do it too, because I could never get that dang screw to come out when I had to change a rotor or take the rotor off, so I'd snap them off. You know, I was a stupid kid. But if you're ever changing tires on one of these or on a Rabbit, you know, Mark 1, and your lug nut holes are just like gone, turn the rotor a little bit and you'll find that there's your lug holes. Hang on, let me set this camera a little better so it doesn't try to... Where the heck am I? Okay, there I am. All right. First thing... Oh, yep, there goes that. Let's get some stuff over here. Working in this driveway is kind of fun, especially, well, on this side anyhow, because you're sort of working uphill, and it's not awesome. Okay, we're going the right way. All right. First thing we're going to do is loosen the drag link, or sway bar link. That's underneath of your control arm. I know I'm not getting great angles. Hang on. Right here. You're looking for that guy, rubber bushing. That's your sway bar link. Let me see if I can stick you under here a little bit somehow. I don't know. Where am I at here? This is why my videos are not awesome, because I don't like the camera. I just want to get stuff done and not worry about angles. So I just tend to leave the camera run, and yeah, whatever, that's good enough. This one I'm actually going to try. Can we see it? Looks like we can. Okay. So we're going to pull that sway bar link and get the nut. There we go. All right, and you got a cupped washer, like, and that the edge of the cup, you know, you want it to set like a cup, you know, that way up. Okay, you sort of want it to, oh man, I can't see what I'm doing, but you sort of want it to cradle this little sway bar length bushing deal. You know, I don't know if it matters horribly, but I think it does. All right, and there's her sway bar, just loose. That makes your life a lot easier. Okay, now, oh geez, I knocked my lug bolts all over the place. Hang on. Well, it's idiot difficulty. All right, now 17 and 17. We're gonna go right here. I'm pretty sure you should see what I'm talking about. There's a 17 bolt, and on the other end there's a 17 nut, and it can be fun to get to it. You gotta sort of turn the wheel until you find like the right angle to get to it. We should be getting, yeah, there she is. All right, that's on. I do believe, yeah, it looks good. And then that's kind of fun to get into here too. There we go. And zipper out. There's the nut. There's the bolt. I like to put them back in with the bolt head facing the front end of the car, because I don't know, just seems like if I lose the nut, then maybe the bolt might not come out of there as easily. But if you lose the nut, it's a bad day anyhow. Now, if anything went properly, should be able to sort of, yeah, tap this out of there. Like to have that out so I can mark my position where the ball joint's laying and put the new one in that place. So hopefully my my camber ain't horribly off when I put it all back together. You know, it's likely going to need to go for an alignment, because this is where you set your camber. But hopefully we can get it close. And I'm hoping these friggin' ball joints are just shot and it's an obvious thing of, hey, there's your problem. You know what I mean? All right. Now, I'm only going to mark this guy. And it don't like to just hang down nice for me. I'd like to get it down further if I could. Those control arm bushings, I just replaced those, and you know, that made this thing feel a lot better, made it drive a lot better. Looks like the boot's shot for the tie rod end as well. Well, one thing at a time. There's no real play in this ball joint that I can feel, but you know, it's not under load and under throttle, and it is loose. It shouldn't flop around as easily as it is. All right, let me go find a way to mark this where it's at, and then we'll come back. Right, so we got marking right down there, that little bit of white paint. That's what we do. And I got the same, yeah. Where am I? On the other side. I just slobbered a bunch of paint. Where the frick? Ah, there we go. slobbered a bunch of paint there, and that should at least let me set the new ball joint in place close. And I don't know, it's entirely possible that the kid who had this put these all the way out for that camber, brah. But, you know, is what it is. I don't have anything to work off of right now. If I had like a little angle gauge and a flat surface, get this whole thing like dead level and up in the air, I could actually set the camber, because all that stuff is in the Bentley manual. But I don't have that stuff. So I'm going to just put the new ones in as close as I can to where the old ones came out and hope for the best. And we got 3 bolts here. One came loose. That's cool. And if it doesn't behave, man, I really hope it does. If it don't behave, then I'll have to take it and get it lined up. And that's another freaking ball of wax there. Like, I don't know. Apparently there's something going on in the mechanic professional garage world thing. Oh man. Where mechanics are, oh yeah, she just fucking broke off. Fudge. No, good thing I got more. Mechanics are leaving the trade. The guys that knew stuff are getting robbed blind by the, you know, the dealership owners, the garage owners, this and that. You know, they're really shorting them pay. They're screwing them every way they can. So the guys are going off into HVAC and plumbing and electric and all sorts of other things and making good money, and God bless them. But now these new guys that are coming in, you know, they don't have mentors. They don't have training. They don't know, and a lot of them just don't give a damn. So if I go in for an alignment, is it going to be proper? I don't know. Oh man. There it is. All right. There, look for that. You see that? That's your 3 little bolts. Well, 3 nuts and 3 bolts all go into that plate. I could heat that and get that bolt out easy enough. I might not. I don't know. Depends how I feel. I got new ones that came from Parts Place. Parts Place Incorporated. They sell, you know, they're Volkswagen specialists. They're online, but you can talk to them on the phone, and the guys are freaking awesome. You know, how the hell do I get this out of my way? I gotta pull this axle loose. I thought I didn't have to, but I might have to. The ball joint is going to slide out of the end of the control arm. Let me fiddle around. You're probably better off disconnecting the axle, or maybe popping the tie rod end loose. But, you know, I'm going to screw around for half an hour, where I could save myself half an hour doing 5 minutes of work, because I'm lazy. Okay, if you got your drag link disconnected and you shove a rod in, pry that control arm down and just shove way back on this, you can tap that ball joint out of there. Tell you what, I'll, instead of being vague about it, knock it back in, right? Shove her way back. I don't need that thing. Shove her way out. There it is. Ball joint's out. It don't feel exactly shot, but again, This is just me wiggling it in my hands. I'm not able to put the kind of stress on it where it would see when it's driving. And plus, you know, this boot's shot. Who knows how long it's been shot. You know, I wish it was really like flopping the heck around so it'd be stupidly obvious. But hopefully something, right? I don't know. Here's a new retainer plate, whatever, for the ball joint. And it looks very, very similar to the old one. Yeah, there's don't mind this, but it's going to be very much close enough, like on these little shoulders right here and here, that I can line it up on my paint marks. And up here, you know, these are right dead on with each other, so lining this up shouldn't be a problem. We'll go take a look at the ball joint. Okay, old ball joint. You know, we can move that pretty easy. I don't know if it was destroyed, but it's certainly got a lot of wear on it. New ball joint is, I can move it, but it's considerably tighter. Feels a heck of a lot better. Dimensionally, you know, I'm not putting mics and calipers and crap on it, but dimensionally, it looks really dang similar. So again, we shouldn't have any problems just going by the paint marks. If these ball joints weren't set way the heck out for some stupid camber shit. Let's hope not. I'm going to get set up and then I'll bring it back. Hopefully I can do this with the camera kind of in the way, but we're going to take the new ball joint, get it. Oh man, this actually kind of sucks. Slide it into the end of the control arm. Maybe get the little, what you call it, tucked in there a little bit. We should be able to do this. Old one came out. There we go. Hope you can see that. I'm trying. I swear I'm trying to do a half decent job of this video. But I am, I hate the camera. I hate futzing with it. Be awesome to have a cameraman. All right. Well, we got our little plate here. Gonna set that down. Not worrying about the marks yet. Annie seized all my bolts and the nuts on that little plate too. You know, don't be afraid of some anti-seize. I don't know, it might actually call for Loctite. I don't know, but I've never used Loctite on these. I've done quite a few of them. I honestly don't often use Loctite. If it's my own stuff and I'm comfortable with it, I won't typically use Loctite. All right, crappy old Phillips. That's another thing to add to your tool list, probably. Okay, where to put my bolt? There it is. Let's try that. Seems to have done it, I think. Well, it's through the ball joint, but it ain't starting up into the plate. Come on, dude. Be cool, will you? Feels a little, I don't know, feels a little cross-threaded. And now it won't come back out. I don't want to cross-thread that. Let me try another hole. Another hole. That's always funny, ain't it? And that ain't starting either. Come on, dude. For real? That feels crossed as well. What's going on? Oh. Ooh, maybe that did something. I don't know. Come on, man. This thing is messing with me. Sure enough. Cripes. All right. Okay, well, hang on. You get the idea. 3 bolts, run them up through there, all right? Let me turn this thing off, get it out of the way, and see what the hell I'm doing. Can we see? Yeah. I backed this bolt out just a little bit so it's sloppy. Now, it seems like that one wants to start. Doesn't feel crossed. Feels a little stubborn, but maybe for me running the screwdriver up there, trying to line it up. Let's see about this guy. I didn't tighten it up. I just ran that in there by my fingers. Yeah, that feels good. All right. That one's a little stubborn. Let's put a socket on it. Yeah, that's fine. Just a little stubborn. That's cool. All right. So now we're going to just kind of line this up with these paint marks best as I can. It looks pretty good there. That looks pretty good there. I don't know how crucial camber is to your tracking and this and that, and there's hardly any adjustment there, but I'm just trying to put it back where the old one was, because right now that's about the only clue that I got. Now I can tighten them up. Don't go stupid with them. I don't know a torque rating on them. I go tight, man. I don't know. Shoot. 20 years ago, I took a car into Jack Williams for an alignment, and they left my ball joint loose. And, you know, for the longest time, for a while after that alignment, I'd be going around a certain turn or whatever, and the wheel would jump. Car would kind of change, you know, it was weird. And come to find out after a long time, my own stupid fault, because I didn't look at it. I should have known. But they left my ball joint loose. And that's kind of what I'm worried about with getting an alignment. You know, are they going to know how to adjust things? Because it really seems like if there's not a clear-cut procedure in the computer, nobody knows. And this is an old car, and, you know, to them it's just another piece of shit, of course. To them it's a piece of shit. At least to the owner, the garage owner. He doesn't care about this thing. Volkswagen dealer ain't going to care about this thing. So that's kind of what I'm worried about is, will I get a good alignment? Will the kid running that rack really know what he's doing with this thing? I don't know. I don't know. I'm not gonna. I don't know, man. I'd like to be able to do them myself. My dad used to. My dad was pretty goddamn exceptional. Well, no, I mean, nothing exceptional about it. My dad just did stuff. he wasn't afraid to try. And, you know, he lined a couple of his own cars up and had them tracking real nice down the road, and the tires were wearing nice and even. And, you know, I suppose that's your entire idea behind an alignment, is how it handles and how the tires wear. So if that stuff's all good, then you probably did a good alignment. And he would do it right here in this cockeyed freaking driveway with a tape measure and a couple other nonsense things, and dial them right on in. Okay, now remember, set this rattle gun back down to 1. If you got this particular rigid, set it down to 1, and don't trust it right off the bat. I have really I've done plenty of lugs and bolts and whatnots with this, and then checked them by hand afterwards, so I got a pretty good feeling of what this thing does, you know. Where the heck's my bolt? There it is. And I think it goes to like 70 or 80 pounds, something like that. You know, I don't know. It goes to a goodly torque where you're not going to struggle trying to break your lugs loose with a regular lug wrench, you know? It seems quite reasonable. All right, did I forget anything? Oh, I tightened those guys. I just tightened that up. Ah, drag link. Or sway bar link. Sway bar link. Not drag link, idiot. It's not drag link. Okay. Should, there we go. Yep, just pop it back down through there. Can we see that? Hopefully right there. All right. Set your rubber bushing up on there. Real easy like. Maybe give it a little persuasion with the bar. Set, yeah. You know, get her down in there. Don't be shy. Set the washer on there. Grow another hand so you can set that nut as well. I never anti-seized that sucker, did I? I don't know. I don't see anti-seize on there though, so it's getting it. Ah. You know why Fred Flintstone likes this stuff? There's a little dabba do ya. I don't know. Yabba dabba do ya. Whatever. All right. I'll see myself out. Yabba dabba do ya. Yabba dabba do ya. I don't know where I'm going with that, man. I say some dumb shit. Just please. Don't mind me too much. If anyone's even watching this bullshit. I kind of doubt it. Oh, I forgot the nut. Okay, hang on. Oh, there goes the bushing. Okay, this is going to be fun. We got to have the bushing, the washer, and the nut all kind of stacked up in hand and ready as I pry on this sucker. Oh, almost. Come on, get her on there. There we go. You don't want to go stupid tight on this sway bar link neither. They're kind of easy to break. Just tight. The original ones were a little more meaty. Okay. There's a pretty thick shaft up on the top of the sway bar link, and then it goes down to this sort of, I don't know what you call it, 8 mil. I don't know. It's a pretty thin little thing with a 13 millimeter nut on there. And you know, don't crank the shit out of that. And That's pretty much what's available for this car, and you're gonna have to take it. As far as I remember, on Rabbits, the sway bar just kind of bolted right to the control arm. I don't understand the need for a link there. I don't understand it. I don't know. I'd figure it's more, if the sway bar clamped right to the control arm, I'd think that's the sway bar acting more directly on the control arms, you know, and more directly on the suspension and stuff. I don't know. But hopefully you got something out of that. You know, at least how not to do it. It's not a hard job. It is not hard at all. I mean, what were we here? Freaking half an hour or something. And I'm not even feeling 100%. I just got over some kind of wicked freaking cold. So, you know, I'm moving kind of slow. So far, it's actually taken me longer to jack it up and get it on stands and this and that. Little bit of fiddling around with the bolts going up through to hold the ball joint. You know, that's how stuff goes. I'm gonna get this wheel on, do the other ball joint. Maybe I'll take you along for that. And just go through the process as I go. Kind of leave the camera running, let you see it again. But I'm not gonna try to explain things and this and that. Let you kind of work it out for yourself without my blah, 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 you know? All right, let me get this wheel back on this side. We'll move over to the other side. I'll do the other one. This should give you an idea of where to go when you're doing this particular job on this particular sort of vehicle. It's pretty easy. The Rabbits, the Mark I, the Golf, whatever you want to call it, they didn't have this type of camber adjustment. You could change your ball joint without worries. But on that one, when you changed the strut, you had an eccentric bolt up here, and that was your camber adjustment. So you had to get that back in the right place, or, you know, go for an alignment, la-di-da. On this, there is like some wiggle room. So maybe you might have to loosen these up and kind of bump this around, and then tighten them down when you get it. But the majority of your camber adjustment is done down there at the ball joint. And just go to her. Railgun. Smoke another one. Do that. Okay, there's a wrench on there. Railgun. Oh, there's my bolt. I'll find it. There it is. Oh, lost my wrench. Hang on. There it is. Zing. Now I can get the rattle gun back off of there without smacking the camera in the face. Oh man, you're gonna be a turd, aren't you? All right, come on. There you go. All right, and then come here, please. You can't just loosen this bolt. The bolt has to come all the way out. It's sort of keyed. It's a pinch thing, pinching on the shaft of the ball joint. And there's also a notch in the shaft of the ball joint that it won't, hopefully, completely fall the hell apart if something comes loose, you know. Looks like I think we're ready to start prying on some crap. I hope one of these can be freaking destroyed. I'd really like to have an obvious problem. Looks like we got a rip in the CV joint somewhere. Losing grease somehow. I don't feel it. Weird, man. Weird with a beard, man. Whatever. That ain't today's mission. Anyway. Okay, that came out. Oh, wait. Hang on. Don't get too freaking rammy. Dingus. Dingbat. Yeah, idiot. Hang on. Let me try to. It's funny. I said I was going to shut up, and I think I'm doing more talking. Grease around here ain't helping. But we will get by. As Mr. Garcia said, we will survive. Clean it up, kinda. Don't have to be amazing. This has to be clean enough to take the paint stiff. This would be cool if that would hang out down there a little more. Oh, here comes my lovely wife.
Mama barfed on Leo's bed the other day. She told me she cleaned it up. Look what I found in the washer.
Oh, nice. Nice. She cleaned it up. Cleaned it up enough to get it out of her way and leave it be somebody else's problem. Ah, here's a rip in the CV boot. Okay. Got a rip CV boot. So that's got to be tended to as well. That's fun. Fun. Hey, man. Old ass car. What do you want? Built in '86, so, you know, she's old. Was it ever somebody's pride and joy? I don't know. I bet whoever bought it new was really talking up that 50 mile to the gallon he was getting. He was probably very proud of that. At this point, it's not getting that. Previous owner fucked this injection pump up. He did something that you ain't supposed to do. When you're pulling the pulley, when you're doing a timing belt on these, and you got to pull that pulley off of the injection pump, if you have to, do not ever strike against the shaft of that injection pump. Use the puller, or just don't screw with it. If you smack something on the end of that injection pump, you know how you pull a lawnmower pulley, it'll screw them up. It does them in, man. Ain't good. Oh, cripes. Am I trying to tighten? Nope, I'm loosening. Oh, she's coming. Try this one. One loose. Oh, there's two. All right. Maybe all the grease from the CV joint did a thing to help them come loose. I don't know, but there's been a oily spot up in this wheel well for the longest time, and I was kind of wondering where the frick it's coming from. At least now I know. Hey, look at that. We got them all loose. Got them all to move. How about that shit? Amazement. I don't mind putting that. Ooh. No, I'm not scared of that. I'm gonna be, let me see. Yeah, this tie rod end boot is shot too. So I'm gonna be back in here. But for now, let me just stick this new ball joint in and see if it wants to track any better. I sure hope it does, man. But if these tie rods are kind of shit, then you know that'd be another factor. Of course. We got that one off with no trauma. No trauma, no drama. No dumb shit. Alright. Now shove this hard as I can over that way. And there she goes. Let's feel that. That feels, oh man. That is, I don't know what to make of that. Is it jammed so full of shit that it feels tight? I don't understand, but that, man, it feels, somehow it feels like new. I don't know what the hell. Is it just old solidified grease? God only knows, dude. Looks like you could change the boots on these if you had to. There's a little clip on there and a little clip there. Here a clip, there a clip. Everywhere a clip. Old McDonald had a clip. How about that shit? Alright, get a new ball joint. This one feels considerably different. It's tight, but it's not obnoxious. Can you see me? Yeah, I think so. You know, it's tight and it feels good. This one, it's like dang near jammed or something. I don't know. Like you gotta try to move that sucker. All right. Kind of crap this one back into position. Beauty. Wrappings there. Oh. Yes. Yes, this is beautiful. Screwdriver. Get that probably lined up somehow. Yeah. I'm a little more fond of the old hardware. I think. The old bolts have this kind of little, I don't know, kind of little point on the end. Helps you line it up a bit. I don't mind that. I think that's pretty nice. The new ones don't have that, so it's a little bit more fiddling around to line them up, but it will work. And that one should. Ba-bang, no problem. Heck out of my face, leaf. I hope you can see any of this. Oh wait, let's check those friggin' paint marks, huh? See if it's at all where we want it to be. And it's a little bit out. So a little bit in. That's real damn close. I'm gonna call that friggin' good enough. Stick it. That's good. Stick it. Stick it before she gets away. Is it exactly? No. It's not exactly the fuck on, but he's real damn close. I think I'm planning on an alignment anyhow. I'm just hoping I can find an old head that has his own rack. Apparently, for an alignment, the mechanic, whether it takes him half an hour or 5 hours, he's getting paid for 1 hour, you know, and they don't, the owner or whatever, whoever pays the mechanic doesn't care if it's putting up a fight. They want it done, out the door, money, 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 you know, and it's a bullshit system. And I do not blame the guys that are getting out of it. And right, cars are getting stupid anymore. You know, trying to work on them. It's a stupid ordeal to freaking work on these things anymore. Fuck that. Get out. I'm sure that suits the manufacturers just fine if nobody wants to work on their shit. I mean, especially after it gets so old, they don't want you to work on it. They want you to buy some new. There it is. They want you to buy new because if you keep your old shit going, they don't make money. I don't know. I guess warranty repairs or something weird, and I don't know. I don't know why anyone would go into a lease or whatever the fuck for a new car. Unless you got, I don't know. I just can't wrap my head around it. Even if I had money, I wouldn't want to. I enjoy working on my own crap. I enjoy being able to work on it. I enjoy working on this type of stuff. It's just nuts and bolts, and I love it. I think. Come on there. Thread that through. I don't know. Maybe. I think that ain't quite where I want it to be. Oh, that might have done it. Felt it move a little bit. Ah, yeah. That's got her. Just had to bump it around a little bit. That's that key on the shaft of the ball joint that I was talking about. It has to be lined up or the bolt won't go in. And if the bolt's in there at all, even if the nut's loose or fell off, if the bolt stays in, theoretically, the ball joint shouldn't fall out, barring something ridiculous. You know, just make sure your dang thing is tight. All right, how was I going? Like that. Oh yeah, nice ripping that CV boot. And dang it. Well, have to get on that quick. If you don't, then you lose your freaking CV joint. You get on them pretty quick though, you'll be able to save the joint. Okay, back down to 1, tightening. We're gonna run that in. If I can find it, I believe I can. Should be where I left it. There she goes. All right. That's that. Ball joints in there. Get our sway bar link back up, back down, whatever, bolted the heck on there. There's my dang pry bar. It's behind me. Okay, so what did we do? Well, that's first. First and foremost, anti-seize. I'm the one that put these freaking things on there. I can't believe I didn't anti-seize them. Maybe I did, but it got smeared off. I don't know. But we're going to do it again. I want to see anti-seize, man. I want anti-seize on everything. Take a bath in this stuff, and then you'll be silver. I don't know. Let me alone. I'm not 100%. I mean, I'm never 100%. I always think fucked up shit. I always do fucked up shit. Say fucked up shit. You know, I'm just fucked up. Aren't we all? Isn't everybody? I think everybody is. Some people just don't like to admit it. Oh no, there's nothing wrong with me. I'm a perfectly normal and sensible person. See, I leased my brand new car. I've got a beautiful flat screen. And I'm not trying to shit on people that want that stuff. You want that? You go ahead. But don't shit on me for not wanting it. I don't care about the big game and freaking the new shit. I don't care for it. I don't care for it. It ain't my game. I think it's dumb. Okay. There's the sway bar link. I hope this worked. I don't know. The one ball joint was a little loose, and the one was stinking tighter than a frog's ass. I don't know what the heck that would have done, but they needed it done. I mean, there's still a lot that needs done on this thing. I want to swap the engine from that junkyard car, because that one sounds like it's running pretty damn good. This one runs, it ain't right. You can tell it ain't right. And you get a lot of white smoke on startup. You have to pull there's a knob on these for to advance the timing on the injection pump just a little bit on cold starts. And you got to run it with that thing pulled for quite a while. Where, as far as I know, normally, you don't have to run them that long. Just maybe a couple of seconds or maybe a minute at the most. But this thing, you have to have that advance pulled till it's damn near warmed up to operating temperature before you can push it back in. If you push it back in early, like it stutters and bucks and kind of carries on. No freaking, not much power. You know, it's really cantankerous. So, all right, there's ball joints on a 1986 Mark II Jetta. Doesn't take long. It's pretty basic, man. Still a ways to go with this thing. Just discovered tie rod ends. They're gonna get changed. New axle, boots, CV boots, whatever the fuck you want to call them. Gonna do gonna do rear shocks. You know, there's still some leaking door seals and crap like that. You know, there's a lot of stuff to be done on this thing, but it's coming along. Thanks for watching. If you're watching, take care and don't let the bastards get you down.